So it's been a month since I started my personal finance journey as a broke uni student making 1.2k per month. And I must say this journey has been an insightful one so far because it revealed a lot about myself, my spending habits, my unhealthy indulgence, and the good deals I found along the way as well. And by the way, if you guys are new, my name's Alex. I started this YouTube channel to document and share my money journey. If you guys are interested, feel free to subscribe. So back to the topic. So for the month of July, I was actually off to a rough start because prior to this challenge, I actually already arranged a JB trip with my friends at the first week of July, and we all know how is it going to turn out. We were spending a lot on cab, accoms, as well as food, and just on the first few days, I'm already like down $80. Furthermore, there were also repayment bills coming in which were from the online purchases I made earlier. And yeah, all this just made me realize that the decisions that we make today can have a huge impact on our future self. So always think twice before acting on it. And by the way, if you watch some of my previous video, I also show that I just applied for 2 new credit cards. Both are student credit cards that requires no income. And if you guys are interested, can watch it later on. So I have also used some of the credit card, but to simplify things, I won't be mentioning purchases I make with credit cards. However, I will mention them in the next month under repayment expenses. And besides that, there were also like group buys in which I paid first, and the group member then subsequently paid me separately. And yeah, things like that kind of make accounting a bit tricky. So I'll just be mentioning about the cash output to make things more simple. And most importantly, I want to talk more about my portfolio, which includes investments and savings. I think that is where I'm gonna focus more on. But the bottom line is I managed to get by this month without touching my savings and investment at all. And spoiler alert, my portfolio actually performed slightly better than I expected. And more on that later. Without further ado, let's dive right in. So let's begin with my expenses for the month of July. And here's a quick overview. So for my monthly bills, it is $88.50, which includes things like the telco, Wi-Fi, and also software subscription. By the way, if you guys watched my first video, I actually also mentioned gym membership, but for this month, I actually froze my gym membership for $10 because, like I mentioned, I spent a little bit too much on my first week, and I had to cut expenses on somewhere else. So for that month, I'll just try to work out at home and things like that. Moving on is food. I spent about $180.35. JB trip total up to about $110. Transportation $99.5. And others, which includes like repayment costs and other like QT pleasures, desserts, etc., about $132.50. And this total up to $609.89, which is slightly over my spending limit of $600. However, 600 is still quite a reasonable spending limit if I did not use it on like overseas trips and things like that. I think 600 is more than enough. Therefore, I'll continue to allocate the $600 for spending moving forward. And next is the juicy part. How is my portfolio performing? So here's an overview. So right now, my saving account has gained a whopping 40 cents USD, which is expected because my capital is very small. Yeah, so my initial balance of 200 SGD is now 201.21 SGD, a $1.21 increment. Next, let's take a look at the stocks. So I bought one Google stock at $177.98 USD, and now it is at 194 USD. At the point, I deposited $220 SGD in total, which is now 248.92, an 8% gain, which is pretty good compared to my savings account. Next, let's take a look at my crypto holding. So the $200 I put in is now at $264.81, which is a 32% gain. And that is pretty good if you ask me. And adding it up together, this gives me a total of $714.94, an increase of 15% from my initial capital of $620. With that said, let's talk about the allocation for this month. So for the $600 that I'm gonna set aside, it's pretty much the same breakdown as the one I had last month. So $200 is going to high interest saving account, $200 is going to stock, and the last $200 is going to cryptocurrencies. However, there'll be some change within the allocation, which I will talk more about it. So for savings accounts, I'll be depositing to Chocolate Finance instead of Revolut to earn interest in USD, since it has higher interest right now compared to Revolut. And what I realized is Revolut interest does fluctuate over time. So that's about that. For stocks, I'm planning to buy Duolingo fractional shares on Moomoo, because the price of one Duolingo stock right now is like 360 plus USD, which is way past my budget of $200 SGD. So I'll just buy 0.4 share of Duolingo stock. Lastly, for cryptocurrencies, I'll be splitting into $100 on two different coins. So one will be on a meme coin and the other one will be on a gaming related coin. And again, this video is just purely documentation, it's me sharing what I'm gonna do. Therefore, I will not be sharing my analysis and the reasons why I buy what I buy. And everything here is just an experiment. So please do your own research before buying anything. And with that said, after I've deployed my capital, here's how my portfolio look like right now. For the savings account, it has $401.21. For my stocks, it has $446.17, and for cryptocurrencies, it is now at $460.90. So right now, my portfolio has a grand total of $1,308.28. And yeah, that's about it for the month of July. Hope you guys found some value and inspiration from this video. If you do, please hit the like button, support the channel a bit. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.